They say some houses never forget, that their walls keep secrets and their foundations cradle the restless dead. In Indianapolis, one such house still stands. On the surface, it's only brick and timber, an old mansion from another century. But look closer, and you'll see the weight it carries. Its bricks are darkened with history, its walls heavy with silence that doesn't feel empty, silence that watches and waits. They say the air inside lingers too long in your lungs. They say the floors groan with memories that were never meant to be spoken. And if you're still enough, if you're listening, you might hear them, whispers rising from beneath the floorboards, voices that should have been buried long ago. Tonight, we step inside the Hannah house, and once you enter, you may find it never truly lets you leave. Hey, welcome back to Ghost Tracks Podcast. My name is Tina.
Molly.
We're your hosts, kind of.
Hello.
Am I awake? We're back. We ate dinner, and now we're like comatose.
Yeah.
So, we're going to do our best here.
We're going to do our breast.
Our breast here. 2 of them. 4 of them if you count both of us.
Yeah, all the breasts.
It's not yet October, but we're pro-booby around here. Save them things.
Save the tatas.
So, as I mentioned in the opening, today we are going to discuss the Hannah house. If you drive down Madison Avenue in Indianapolis, you might not even notice it at first. It looks like an ordinary old mansion, stately, proud, and almost out of place next to the traffic and modern buildings. But the Hannah house is different. Built in 1858, its red brick walls and arched windows have seen more than a century and a half of history. And according to legend, those walls are still keeping secrets. Even just looking at it, it kind of screams classic haunted home. It's got Italianate-style big windows, decorative brackets under the roof, and while it was surrounded by farmland back in its day, which would have been pretty serene, honestly, in comparison to what it sits at today, it just seems out of place. Across from a gas station and a metalworks company, it's like stepping through a time portal when you enter the property. It was never just a farmhouse, though. It was built as a show of wealth and performance by its owner, Alexander Hannah, and his story is where this begins. Alexander Hannah was born in 1821, one of 10 children. Lord have mercy, that poor mother.
Well, they popped them out back then. You never knew when one was going to make it or which one was not going to make it.
So we just have a multitude of children just in case.
Yep.
And I know reality is that is exactly what happened. And obviously the lack of birth control and understanding of how conception worked. But
yeah,
still, that's a lot of babies. And I just, as a woman who has had 2 children, ouch.
it just makes me tired just thinking about it.
Oh, and you know they're back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a lot. So when we were foster parents, I had 4 under 4, and that was a nightmare. So he was born one of 10 children to a family in Wayne County, Indiana. He grew up working on local farmland and was a harness maker by trade. But he had ambitions beyond farming. When the gold rush hit in 1849, he went west to California, mining, trading, and building wealth. Unlike many who lost everything, Alexander came back wealthy. And in 1858, he built the Hannah House, an elegant mansion on 300. Okay, so there was discrepancies. Some say 240 acres, some say 300 acres. I put 300 because the 300 acres came directly from the Hannah House's page, and I know the people that own it, and I just assume
if anybody's going to know, it's going to be them.
Yeah, and they are, as we get into it, the family that took over Hannah House, the descendants of that family are who own it currently. So I'm inclined to believe the 300 acres. However, that farmland was purchased from his father, Samuel Hannah. It was his legacy, a sign of status. Hannah himself was a man of prominence in Indianapolis, serving in politics, running his farm, and investing in local business. He married Elizabeth Jackson in 1872 and had conceived one child who unfortunately did not live. I believe it was a miscarriage mid-pregnancy. The couple lived there together until Elizabeth passed away in 1888, and Alexander Hanna remained in the home with his staff until his death in 1895. Hanna House became vacant and was placed on the market, where it remained for 4 years until it was purchased by a prominent jewelry businessman, Roman Oler, I think, in 1899. And descendants of the Oler family still own the home today. But while the Hanna House is remembered for its grandeur, its true reputation would come from what happened beneath it. Like many homes in the mid-19th century, the Hanna House became entangled in the desperate, dangerous struggle of the Underground Railroad. Indiana was a crucial stop for enslaved people fleeing north towards freedom. Many homes were used as safe houses, hidden rooms, barns, and cellars. According to legend, the Hanna House was one of them. The story goes that Alexander Hanna, though not publicly outspoken, was sympathetic to enslaved people seeking freedom. One night, a group of freedom seekers were hidden in the basement of the home. They waited in silence, their breath heavy with fear, praying for safety. But tragedy struck. Some say an oil lamp was knocked over in the crowded cellar. Others say a candle tumbled in the dark. Either way, fire erupted. The flames spread fast, consuming the oxygen in the air. Those hidden beneath the house, men, women, and children, were trapped. They died in that basement, their cries muffled by the stone walls. Out of fear of discovery, the legend claims their bodies were hastily buried right there, beneath the basement floors of the Hanna House. No records, no graves, just covered up. Whether or not this exact story is true is debated by historians. But what's chilling is how many paranormal reports center exactly on that basement.
Where were they buried?
In the floor, under the
Okay.
cement.
Because that was kind of interesting because that cemetery that we went to and did the Estes method,
They're talking
and
about fire.
they were talking about fire and burning and being trapped and
Yeah.
all that.
I don't know, we weren't near to the Hanna House there, but I mean, some of those homes that are right there, that's close to downtown, the area that we're in.
Interesting.
So a lot of those homes are also historic homes.
I can't wait to see what we get this next time we go.
Visitors to the Hanna House report a heavy, suffocating energy in the basement. The air feels cold, damp, and unwelcoming, almost as if the walls themselves mourn. Some claim to hear faint whispers, desperate prayers, or the sound of shuffling feet in the darkness. Others have reported the smell of smoke, burnt oil, and charred wood, lingering when no fire is present. Shadows are often seen darting across the basement walls, and investigators have caught mysterious EVPs, voices crying help or please, but the spirits aren't confined to the basement. Upstairs, cold spots and sudden temperature drops are common. Doors open and close by themselves, and chandeliers have been known to sway without cause. In the master bedroom, some have reported waking to see a shadowy figure looming near the bed, believed by some to be Alexander Hanna himself, keeping watch over his home. Mrs. Hanna has also made herself known by creating unpleasant odors, often referred to as the scent of rotting flesh, disembodied voices, and opening the door to the room where she lost her child in the home.
Mm-hmm.
The most unsettling experiences, though, always circle back to the basement. Paranormal teams who've investigated there often describe overwhelming sorrow or sudden nausea, as if the suffering imprinted itself in the very soil beneath the house.
Which is where we are doing the Estes method, actually.
So, I've been to Hannah House multiple times over the years. We actually just did the Paranormal Days Festival there, and they host that once a year. And I've attended that festival, I think about 3 times now over the years, and I've only had one, like, true experience on the grounds at Hannah House, and that was, and I think I've talked about it before, but I was there with my current boss back when she was doing, like, crystal sales and stuff. This was before her jewelry, um, came about, but we were there doing that, and it was so fucking hot. It's because it's done in August, so it's just hot as hell outside here in Indiana in August. And where her tent was, it was very, very, very sunny. So I had kind of stepped away from the tents and I had walked over to like this cluster of trees where it was shaded. And I was over there by myself, and in my right ear, I heard, "Hello?" It was a man's voice, but it went up at the end, so, like, he was curious, like, "Who the hell are you standing here in my yard?" And I whipped around, and I thought that it was my boss's husband, truthfully. I thought that he snuck up on me and was trying to scare me, but there was nobody there, where I was standing. They were all beneath the tents or, walking off to other vendors. That was pretty trippy, to say the least, but it didn't scare me. I mean, it startled me because I wasn't expecting to hear hello in my ear, especially as close as it was. But yeah, that's really the only experience I have had there so far. I will also say I've never had any bad feelings at Hannah House. Like, I know a lot, and obviously I've written in here, a lot of people feel like that heaviness,
I
that
did.
did you that suffocating feeling, that heavy chest. I
Mhm.
just have never
On the 2nd floor.
I never
I was
got
feeling
that.
fine 1st floor, nothing, and as soon as we climbed those stairs, I felt, like, just super out of breath the whole time I was up there,
Mm,
and the ghost tube app was going off a lot.
yeah. The owners of the owner, the woman who owns the house, she did come upstairs and was talking to us, and I know that the ghost tube app had responded to her and what she was saying.
Yeah.
She was talking about it, and they said, "Please continue."
Yeah. That was funny.
Um, they get a lot of activity according to her, and I know our boss, um, one of our coworkers, my boss's husband, and I'll talk about it here in a few minutes, but, they all have been, on the grounds of Hannah House quite a lot, not just for vending events. They've had some things that they did there on the property that they were there for a long time, over several weeks to several months. So they got a lot of activity in those times. So, um, we'll have to have some follow-up discussions with them regarding their time at Hannah House. I know that they'll be present for a
Mhm.
live upcoming, and we'll talk about that again here in a second. But yeah, you can get some details. If you guys are curious about that, you'll have to follow along. But did you get anything else on the GhostTube app?
When we were in that room where the hidden bookcase
Mhm,
was saying enemy.
that's
It
right.
kept saying enemy, and then it went crazy when we went through the hidden door. It was like bam, 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 stuff was, like, going off and off, but,
Well,
it
that
just it
hidden door that you're talking about, that she's talking about, is so it was one of the upstairs rooms, and there is a bookcase that blocks a doorway. It closes up against the wall, and you have to open it, and then it opens into like a small room, which then goes into a staircase, and that was actually the slave's staircase. So,
I don't remember exactly what was said when we went through there because it all happened so fast.
there's a lot of activity there, and that I do know. So I'm
Mhm.
I'm excited to be able to go back and kind of see what we get. But obviously, the Hannah House is still standing over 160 years after it was built. It was recognized and placed on the
And I wonder what it meant by it was an accident. Because as soon as we entered, like, where we were gonna be heading to the basement,
Mhm.
you mentioned that the oil lamp was knocked over,
It could have meant that it was an
and
accidental.
maybe they were trying to get out that hole, the
Maybe,
ventilation hole.
maybe.
Mm.
But it was recognized on the National Register of Historic Places in 1978, and it's become one of Indianapolis's most famous haunted landmarks. Hannah House has been featured on local ghost tours, paranormal TV segments, and there were quite a few. Obviously, I didn't list them all, but I did look it up. There's been quite a lot of coverage on Hannah House, from local television stations to YouTube, you know, content creators, paranormal investigators, just all kinds of stuff.
I'm gonna watch some of those.
Yeah. And then, as well as the filming location for H.P. Lovecraft's The Witch House, which was directed by Bobby Easley, who is an acquaintance. I wouldn't call him like a friend, but I do know him, and he's directed several pretty decent movies, honestly. Um, he's a local tattoo artist also in the area. But that film was an adaptation from Dreams in the Witch House by H.P. Lovecraft from 1933. And that is the one that my boss and her husband did, what, the FX makeup, and they built
Prosthetic.
prosthetics. Yeah, they did prosthetics, and then they built some other I know Zeus built, like, the mechanical heart that was in the movie and stuff, and then our coworker, she was also in the movie as an actress, as was 2 or 3 of my other friends that I have known for years at this point. So, if you don't know what that movie is, you can watch it on Amazon and everything. It's H.P. Lovecraft's The Witch House, and it's directed by Bobby Easley.
I have to check it out too.
I think I have the DVD, or I bought it on Amazon,
Mm.
but I have, like, the T-shirts and stuff for
Oh,
it,
that's
yeah.
cool.
So, I know that they were gonna put it on at, the drive-in movie theater at one point. We were all gonna watch it, but I think the weather didn't
Oh,
agree, and they haven't,
that's too bad.
like, yeah, and then they didn't, like, reschedule it or whatever, so that's a bummer 'cause I was very much looking forward to that, but
Yeah, that would've been cool.
mhm,
Do you still have drive-through theaters
mhm.
here?
Oh, yeah. There's,
Mm.
like, 5 in the state, I think.
God, I haven't been to one since Riddick came out.
Oh, wow. I love going to the drive-in. A couple of my friends were actually just there the other day.
Hmm,
They put them up on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, hey, guys." And it's the one in Indy, so,
that would be fun.
yeah, we have several in the area. But the home is open to visitors. You can rent the property for your own events, such as weddings, birthdays, corporate events, as well as visit on their event days that they put on. Some of their upcoming events are August 29th. They have a candlelight tour happening, which we missed the first one. We should go to the next one if we can. August 29th.
That's a
Payday. I
Thursday?
think it's a pay no, it's a Friday.
Oh, it is a Friday.
Yep, it's the payday. It's a
Let's do it.
payday!
Let's do it.
Yeah, and the day after is Greenwood Happy Haunts.
Yeah.
It's another vending event for us. So,
Hmm.
but the candlelight tour happens at the home beginning at 9 p.m. That's when you check in. The event is cash only, and it's $20 a person. Tours officially begin at 9:30 p.m. and are done in groups of 10. They also discuss and I think they play previous EVPs caught within the walls of
Oh,
Hannah House.
that would be cool.
Yeah. On October 3rd, that's the beginning, all the way through the 31st of October, they host the Haunting at Hannah House events every Friday and Saturday evening from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., which I didn't realize it was evenings. So
Hmm.
that's going to be so much better. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I'm so game for that. I'll have to look at the schedule and see if I can get in like 1 or 2 times that month.
Mm.
Yeah, we were asked to come back for that event, but we have a lot upcoming.
Yeah.
So, and then on the first Sunday of every month, they host open house historic tours from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then our favorite, they host overnight investigations.
Mhm.
So,
Which is what we are
yes.
bravely doing.
Yes. So you can rent the home out. I think it's a group of 10 people. You can go rent it from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. and you can investigate overnight. So you can stay at Hannah House
And I will
after
be
dark.
sleeping all day the next day.
Oh, girl. Yeah, me too. So that's where you come in, you do your own paranormal investigation, bring your own equipment, your own recording devices, and that's exactly what we are doing on September 5th. So, not only are we going for our own investigation there, just us little Ghost Tracks podcast people, but we're joining forces with IPSI, who was on the podcast back in April. And I looked it up when they were on, and I can't believe it was that long ago. I can't believe it was all the way back in April that I had them on.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute. And we actually got to meet them. Obviously, I haven't met them in person. I just did the interview. They're local to my area. So it was super great, like talking to them, and I've remained in contact with them. I've remained in contact with them since. But when we did the Hannah House Paranormal Days event, two of the guys, Doug and Thomas, actually came out to Hannah House and visited us. So it was super good to meet them in person and actually get to talk to them face to face. And they went and did a tour of the house because I don't think they'd ever been out there, right? They said they hadn't been there
No.
before, yeah. So, they went and did the little tour that they put on, during the Paranormal Days event, and so they're geared up, they're ready to go, we're very excited, and in addition to having their group come, we're also going to have some amazing other people joining us on this investigation who have backgrounds in paranormal investigation and the occult both. Um, and most of them are our coworkers.
Mhm.
So, and our boss. So, we have somebody coming all the way from Michigan to do this tour with us. So that's super exciting.
Yeah, we gotta figure out, like, the logistics.
What do you mean?
Like, is everyone gonna have, like, an assigned area that they're investigating?
Nope.
No?
We're just wandering, doing our own thing.
We've gotta have our, recorder going to see if we can pick up some EVPs.
Yeah, we're going to try and get one new piece of equipment. It's mostly just to record evidence. It's not like a ghost equipment, hunting equipment per se, but it will help, see things that maybe we're not seeing. It will record audio at the same time, so there's a chance for EVPs to be picked up and things like that. And it'll allow us to keep our hands free so that we can also be holding other equipment
Mhm.
and safely navigate the house because the stairs are kind of scary,
Mhm.
especially the servants' quarter stairs.
Ooh, we're gonna set the REM pod up.
Yeah,
We are doing that. And
yeah.
then we gotta put the little cat balls.
Mm-hmm. And we should have multiple REM pods. I'll have to touch base with Doug and them over at IPSI, but I'm pretty sure they have at least one REM pod of their own as well. And then we'll have ours, and then we have, K2 meters and things like that, so or we have one,
Yeah.
but and then we have cat balls.
So yes, that's
So
gonna be exciting.
so we're super excited to go and check it out, and the owners are super, super nice. The event coordinator over there, is one of my friends, and she's done a fantastic job with Hannah House, since she's kinda taken on that role, and Paranormal Days event was super, super exciting. It's gotten a lot bigger. I think every year it's gotten bigger. And this year they had over 100 vendors. So if you're local to Indiana and you don't follow the Hannah House on their socials, I recommend that you do so. When I'm doing the edit for the podcast and getting it up, I will make sure to link their Facebook and then just their regular website in the show notes. So
And
you
if you
can
happen to go during one of those events, don't park where the crazy ladies
Yeah, that's not
trying to
okay.
poach people.
That's something else I will discuss. So Hannah House is owned, like I said, by the descendants of the Oler family. Obviously, the Hannahs did not have children, so it was passed on. I think initially farmhands were taking care of it, and then obviously they couldn't keep it. So then it was purchased by the Ohlers. I think outside of their descendants, only one other family has owned the home, but then it went back to the Ohlers descendant family members. So everything that they do is out of their own pocket, number one. Number two, all of the events that they put on, every investigation that you have, any of the vending events, the candlelight tours. I know that they do like the tea in the garden events for
Mhm.
Mother's Day. They had like a daughter dad day. Like they're really doing a lot. They have like eras parties, they have like the murder mystery parties and stuff that they do there, but everything that they do there at Hannah House, that money goes directly into A, keeping the house, but B, maintaining the home and any restorative efforts that need to be made. Earlier this year during storm season, crazy, crazy winds came through and it actually took one of the trees down there on the property right there in the front of the house. And they have some pretty significant damage to the roof of the home. that they're still trying to fix.
Yeah, and restoring a historical place is
It's
not easy to do
no,
because you also have to do things up to code with the
correct.
historic society, don't you?
Yes, yeah, you can't change. So when we lived in Delaware when I was a kid, I was like kindergarten, first grade. We actually lived in a home that was on the historic registry. Also, an Underground Railroad house. One of the coolest fucking houses I've ever lived in my life. I loved that house. But any restorative efforts that you make to that home have to be within what was original to that house. Like you can't completely gut the place and make it modern. Like you just can't do that because it's a historic home. So they're having to work within those parameters, but it's just expensive to, to work on a house in general. There are neighbors to the Hannah house. And they were standing out there, we've got people coming in for the paranormal day event. They have to pay their entrance fees and then they have to pay parking for the event all on the Hannah House property. They have volunteers. None of these people are working to get paid. All of the people that are there are because they want to be there, because they love the home or the family, that owns the home. And they're doing it for that purpose. So all these volunteers are out there and they're trying to direct traffic and park everybody that was coming for the paranormal event. And the people across the street were poaching the people that were there to pay for parking. So they're standing out ahead of our group of people, directing them onto their property to park and pocketing all of that money.
Mhm.
Would have been one thing if they were giving, a portion of that money to the Hannah House, because if it wasn't for our event, they wouldn't be making that money anyway, but they didn't and they haven't. And this has been an issue for the last several
Yeah.
years.
We had
So,
front row access to the
yes, we
drama
did. We
going
were right
on.
there.
Seriously, it was crazy.
Yeah, absolute madness. And there was just an abundance of excuses and reasons why she was out there doing this. And
Yeah, and then Hannah House had to have some of their like security going out there
yeah,
and like redirect, like yeah,
intercepting
intercepting,
before the other
intercepting the
people.
interceptors.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. So, again, if you're local to Hannah House and this is something that interests you and you want to come out and enjoy these events that are being put on by this family and people that I personally know that I consider friends, please park where our people are telling you to park. If it is across the street, it's not Hannah House. Hannah House parking is right beyond Hannah House. It's right behind it. Um, so just pay attention most of the time. Any workers that are there for Hannah, not workers, volunteers that are there for Hannah House are going to have Hannah House shirts on. Very easily identifiable.
Mhm.
Don't go next door
Yeah,
though.
don't go to the lady that doesn't wear a bra.
Oh my God.
She changed her shirt
Guys,
3 times,
guys.
and it just kept
She
getting
changed her
worse.
pants. She was out there. She did have a bra on. The first time she was out there early in the morning, she was in shorts that were and I'm not trying to shit talk. I mean, if you're a disgusting human, you have all of this coming, is the
Yeah.
way that I feel. Um, she was in shorts that were essentially flesh colored. I didn't even realize, like, I had to do a double take. And then she had a sports bra on that wasn't holding anything up and wasn't leaving anything to the imagination. And I just didn't want to see that
No.
at all. And then just her disrespect for the home and the workers and the efforts that the people for Hannah House put into that event. And just what it is just greed. And I can't stand people like that.
No.
Like you're essentially stealing from a home that is doing everything it can to keep its doors open and its walls up, because there for a hot minute it was at risk of being bought out by IU and it was just going to be demolished and they were going to use the grounds for part of their campus
She was
thing.
profiting
Right.
off of the backs of their hard work.
Right. And all of their
So,
efforts and outreach into the community and stuff. So all of that to say, if you are local and you go to any Hannah House event, please be sure that you are looking for volunteers in Hannah House, you know, outfits. They're easily identifiable. Go to our parking lots. to be sure that all of the money that is being collected is going back into the Hannah House to keep it up and running, and this beautiful, it really, I mean, it is a beautiful home.
Hmm.
It's a beautiful home. I'm so happy that I've been able to go there multiple times. I'm really looking forward to going on September 5th and officially going to be able to investigate Hannah House. Um, I'm really excited that I'm going there with people that I care so much about. I think it's gonna be a really great night. And I look forward to doing the other events for Hannah House too, as many as we can get in and do, and then just the events that they put on and showing them
Oh,
our
yeah.
support. So,
I had a blast.
yeah,
It was so much fun.
it was a lot of fun, and I wanna be able to keep doing that for a home that's literally almost, I mean, it's been there almost 200 years.
Olivia, isn't her name Olivia?
Olivia, yep,
Olivia. She was so sweet.
yep,
She's so nice. First time I met her, and she just gives me a big old
mhm,
hug.
yep, Olivia, she is, I think for all intents and purposes, their event coordinator there at the home. And funny story of me and Olivia, we went to high school together and I didn't even know that. I went to high school in Shelton, Connecticut. Apparently, she went there as well. We had a mutual friend that I, out of the blue, realized that we had on Facebook. And I was like, how the hell do you know this guy? Because I went to school with him way back on the East Coast. And she's like, oh, I went to high school with him.
Mhm.
And so we discovered that we literally went to the same high school, and I had no idea because I didn't meet her until several years into living here in Indy.
Small world.
So, it's just crazy how those things happen, but she's got the kindest heart, and she loves Hannah House, and she has worked herself half to death to get these events up and running and going and, like I said, reaching out to the community and just making it something very, very special for this family. In the home and the grounds, and hopefully the ghosts like it. Seems like they do. So, um, whether you believe the legends of Hannah House or not, it's certain that Hannah House carries with it the weight of untold stories, and some of those stories refuse to stay buried. Perhaps the Hannah House is more than brick and mortar. Perhaps it is a mausoleum of memory where the lost still cry out, waiting to be heard. So if you ever step inside the basement, listen closely. The voices beneath the floorboards may just be calling for you. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Be sure to like, share, and follow. You can find us on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. We go live every Friday over on TikTok at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. We will be live on TikTok for a little bit, not the whole time. But during any of our investigations, so that goes for Hannah House, we have some additional investigations coming up that we're not going to discuss again. Probably going to do some episodes on them in the future, but those will be coming all in September. We have a very busy September. So if you want to see part of those investigations live, make sure that you are, that you like our TikTok page. It's Ghost Tracks Podcast. The little bell up there in the top right of our page that lets you know when we're going live. So just make sure that you have that on. Be sure to come check us out. You're not going to want to miss the events. We've got some really, really good stuff upcoming. So, and remember, we do take listener stories. So if you want to hear your story read on the podcast, be sure to send it in to ghosttrackspodcast@gmail.com. I almost fumbled that whole thing. But until next time, stay
Stay
creepy.
creepy.
Bye.
Bye.